So your team lost to a G5 school at home in week two. Pack it up. Season's over. Or is it? I mean, we all remember Northern Illinois shocking the world at Notre Dame week two of last year. And I think it's safe to say that did not ruin Notre Dame's season. I believe they made it all the way to the national championship game. Plus, South Florida may be a heck of a lot better than Northern Illinois. But we'll get to that later. Welcome to Hot Takes and Game Breaks. I'm your boy Matt Nepper. He is Taylor Druckenmiller. And we're gonna recap week two for you.
Yeah, see, real Michigan, man, we still rep our team, wins or losses, doesn't matter. But yeah, with Florida, man, I don't know if they have the easy schedule Notre Dame had last year, but definitely be hard for them to bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. That schedule did set up pretty nicely for Notre Dame last year. But you mentioned the Michigan game. Let's get right to that. Michigan traveled to Norman, Oklahoma, and it wasn't pretty. Michigan fell 24 to 13. How was that game, Taylor?
Not fun, man. I mean, when you only see 13 points from your team is not great, but Sharon Moore just got outcoached. Brent Venables had a great defensive plan, and Sharon Moore thought we were going to be able to run the football the whole game, and we were not able to do that. Early in the game, we had opportunities in Oklahoma territory, and we decided to throw wide receiver screens and running back screens instead of using our five-star quarterback to throw the ball down the field. So, from that, and then later on in the game, John Mateer just made play after play after play. So many times where we could have sacked that dude with perfectly timed blitzes, and he would or break free, roll out, and find somebody down the field for a touchdown. But yeah, I mean, we forced two turnovers, and we missed a field goal, so it'll be all right. I think Michigan will be all right, and we had some injuries in that game, so we'll see. We'll see going forward.
I think it's safe to say, in my opinion, that Michigan has an identity crisis this year. I feel like they want to run the ball. They want to have that hardball style offense, but you have the best quarterback available for a spread option, wide open attack, and they're not doing it. I feel like they're way too bunched up. I feel like they're giving away their hands. They're tipping their hands way too much. And Oklahoma read it. They were able to just blow up a lot of those screenplays. Receivers were not able to get open. They ran way too many tight end sets while throwing it. I just don't know what Michigan wants to be this year. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I mean, El Hadi getting hurt in the first or in the second quarter didn't help our offense, but yeah, I mean, I feel like we have receivers. We just have to use them. Like you said, you can't have two receivers and two tight ends always on the field. Like it just doesn't work against a team like Oklahoma at Oklahoma. So yeah, I feel like we just need to spread it out a little bit, let Bryce Underwood throw it down the field more, and maybe get him out the pocket a little bit. I mean, so many times he drops three-step drop and he has to find somebody, and if they're not there, the defense is collapsing by then, and yeah, it's just not working out.
Yeah, the offensive line really seemed to struggle during the game. And in fact, I feel like their only real big good play was that home run play by Justice Haynes, that 80 or 75-yard run out at halftime. And I feel like a lot of people are criticizing Bryce Underwood. I think he played fine. I think people need to relax about that. Relax, relax. He's a true freshman playing his first road game in a hostile, lit environment in Norman, Oklahoma. That place was rocking. That place looked very frightening to be a first-time starter. Turned 18 like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Relax, relax. Buckeye fans, you guys been hating? Relax. Stop your hating. I think he is. I think actually showed a lot of potential. And outside of that one run by Justice Haynes, he was Michigan's best player. He just didn't have much to work with. The offensive line was collapsing on him. And I speculate, is Sharon Moore not allowing him to run, not allowing him to take off if he sees an open lane? Because I feel like there were moments where he could have taken off and ran.
Yeah, I think going forward, watching film and him learning the college football defenses and stuff, he'll probably take off a little bit more. But yeah, I mean the one shot that we did take in that game was like a 60-yard bomb to Donovan McCulley, and it was in like double coverage. But I mean he gave his 6'5" receiver a chance, and he had time to throw it. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of him having enough time to make those throws because we had a couple wide open shots in that game, but he was rushed and he had to throw it real quick. And by that time, receiver wasn't ready to catch it or he wasn't open yet. And yeah, you just got to give him a little bit more time. I feel like we need to roll him out a lot more so he has the chance to take off and run or not. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like the Michigan offense we're seeing week 2 is not the finished product. And barring an injury, I feel like Michigan's offense is only going to get better. And this is a great learning experience for that offense and for Bryce Underwood. But
Yeah.
there's two sides to the story. Oklahoma also was played phenomenal. Like Mateer, clutch. Now, do they run him too often? Probably. I don't think running your quarterback 19 times is going to be sustainable, especially with that tough SEC schedule. And I'm not just like saying that lightly. Seven of Oklahoma's last 8 games are going to be against currently ranked teams. So it doesn't get much tougher than that. It's kind of a bummer because we really don't know how good this Oklahoma team is going to be. Because I feel like a couple losses is inevitable with this kind of schedule. In fact, they could be 8-4, 7-5, and still be a top 25 caliber team, but may not get the recognition in the polls. But that was that game. Let's move on. There's some more big time games like Iowa State, Iowa, Iowa at Iowa State, where Iowa State basically just milked that clock. And if you had Iowa plus 3.5, hey, you'll take that all day. Take it all day. Now, if you had Iowa State, like my boy Taylor did,
Yeah, dude. Iowa is so garbage, dude. I honestly hate the Iowa Hawkeyes. They just muck it up, make every game ugly somehow. They get stops whenever they need them. They get first downs whenever they need them. And yeah, 73 yards passing. And they only lose by 3 points on the road at Iowa State. I don't get it, man. I mean, Rocco Beck didn't have that good of a game either. I mean, I think he only threw for like 130 yards. And Iowa even or outrushed Iowa State in this game, I believe. But yeah, man, ugly game. I feel like this is lucky. The 3.5 should have hit. They had an 8-minute drive to milk that game when they could have easily went down there and scored, but no, they just 1 yard, 3 yards, 6 yards every single time, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating losing a bet like that, but oh well. But I mean, on the other hand, I mean Iowa State. I mean, this is their second Power Four win this year, so I mean, still they still look good. This is a rivalry game, so it's not supposed to look pretty. But yeah, I mean, going forward with Iowa State, not looking too bad. Now Iowa's not good.
hey, y'all both scored 13 points. Just saying. I don't know. We'll still, the
Okay.
verdict's still out. Like we said, we don't know exactly how these teams are going to be. How good is Iowa State? I mean, the team they beat in Ireland having a disastrous season. There's a trend going. Follow with me here. If your team goes to Ireland and loses, you're going to have a season from hell. Look at Florida State last year. Look at Nebraska from a couple years back when Scott Frost got fired. Look at Navy from a couple years ago. They've all had some of their worst seasons. And Kansas State just got done losing to Army. Army, who lost to the FCS program, I believe, just the previous season. Ah, man, y'all gotta stop with these Ireland games. It's cursing the loser.
Yeah, Kansas State losing at home to Army is disgusting, dude. I mean, we had Avery Johnson, Player of the Year in the Big 12. We had Kansas State winning the Big 12, and that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, that's comes off the heels of Kansas State barely, barely surviving North Dakota. Whew, it is gonna be a rough one in the Little Apple.
Yeah.
hmm And probably the upset of the day. Now, I don't know. I don't personally see it as a big upset, but South Florida traveled to Gainesville, Florida, and they pulled off the shocker, according to Vegas. Not so much according to me. And they beat Florida 18-16. Whew. Napier is down bad in Florida. But as we opened the show, we said you can lose a game like this in the new era. We don't have to overreact. Yeah, a show with the name Hot Takes is telling us not to overreact. A little ironic. But we all remember last year, Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame 16-14. A very similar score to USF beating Florida 18-16. And USF at least had another ranked win on their belt. And you know what? They're going to be going for three this weekend, but we'll save that for the next show.
Yeah, your boy Byron Brown balled out. I mean, they only had
hmm
18 points, but I mean that dude had like 240 passing yards, and he added 60 rushing yards on top of that. And the big thing for him is he didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he went into Gainesville against SEC defense and played turnover free. That's all you can ask for from a quarterback. And DJ Lagway just did not look good in this game. I don't think he even threw for 200 yards, and he threw a pick in that game. But yeah, USF man, I don't know what it is, but they're playing good football.
Yeah, they're building something there. They're building something. I believe former Ohio State alum as their head coach. So, local guy getting it
Here we
done.
go.
Getting it done,
Here we go. Here we
getting
go.
it done. Hey, we got to take our wins when we get them. You know what I mean? We get them a lot too. But play of the game, and it was not a good play of the game, was when their Florida's defensive lineman, Brendan Bett, I believe his name was, spat on a USF offensive lineman. What a terrible trend in sports right now. We saw it Thursday night in the NFL game, and we saw it Saturday in the college football games. Disgusting, despicable. But if you're a USF fan, you take that because it helped set up the game-winning field goal. What's up with Florida and these really undisciplined plays and penalties that leads to game-winning field goals? I recall, what was it, 2020, when someone threw a shoe and led LSU to a walk-off field goal attempt for the win. Kind of
Yeah,
ironic.
I remember
Very,
that.
yeah. It's
I
like
remember that.
very undisciplined school down there, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought this guy was watching Thursday Night Football and seeing what happened. I mean, any normal football player is probably watching Thursday Night Football on a night off, but
hmm
yeah, he didn't learn, and he costed his team big time.
Yeah, he took the wrong notes. He took the wrong notes. But speaking of costing your team, do you see what Mike Gundy was saying the lead up to the Oregon Oklahoma State game? He There wasn't a fire, but he started a fire and he threw gasoline all over it. He was calling out Oregon for scheduling a team like Oklahoma State, which is pretty like I'm like, what are you doing? Have some respect for yourself. He was complaining because Oregon's budget is way bigger than Oklahoma State's budget, and that programs should be scheduling one another more based on budgets. This comes after Oklahoma State, of course, played cupcake week one, so there's a little hypocrisy there. And Dan Lanning was having none of it. Dan Lanning shot back in the press conference and then really shot back during the game where Oklahoma State got dismantled 69-3. Probably one of the more impressive box scores you'll ever see, given that it was against a Power 5 program. Or maybe Mike Gundy was just trying to make a statement about how that game should never happen because Oklahoma State is definitely not on the same tier. You see that game at all, Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch most of I didn't really catch any of this game, but yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State last year going into the year was like a favorite to win the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're getting beat 69-3 in Oregon. Like, yeah, like you said, have some respect for your school. You're in the Big 12. You're supposed to go to Oregon and at least compete, like at least
Mm-hmm.
score a little bit and don't give up 69 points. But yeah, dude, this Oregon's team is they're serious.
It's kind of ironic too, given that Oklahoma State plays in a stadium named after a billionaire, Boone Pickens Stadium. Like, come on. Oklahoma State isn't strapped for cash either. They got those oil fields down there, and it's just have respect for yourself. But Oregon could be the best team in the country. I mean, doing that to a Power Five school, it's definitely the statement of the year so far. Now, how good is Oklahoma State? Like you said, they came into last year, Ollie Gordon and just sky high expectations. This year, hmm, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do for the rest of the season, but it's not looking good. But moving on, did you catch what Mississippi State did to Arizona State? A miraculous last second touchdown to upset I believe they were number 11 or so. I can't remember the exact ranking. Arizona State, 24-20.
Yeah. Did you see the game-winning touchdown in this game?
Mm-hmm.
Arizona State sent an all-out blitz, and Mississippi State connected on a deep ball to win the game. And Kenny Dillingham, I'm pretty sure the coach for Arizona State, he was like, I think it might have been a fourth down play, and he's like, I mean, we get a stop right here, and the game's over with. And yeah, instead they gave up a touchdown, and this is not a good loss for Arizona State because I don't think
Mm-mm.
Mississippi State's really that good.
Right, I agree. It does show a little hypocrisy in this sport. Alabama lost to a team with two losses or two wins last year, and they are still ranked. Arizona State loses a team that only had two wins last year. They are now unranked. Alabama lost by 14. Arizona State lost by 4. Say what you will. Maybe they both should be unranked. I don't know. But it does feel a little hypocritical to me. What are your opinions on that?
Yeah, of course Alabama's going to get the benefit of the doubt, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I don't think this Arizona State team's really bad. I mean, you can tell they're missing Cam Skattebo for sure. But I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
still got Sam Levitt and they still got Jordan Tyson, one of the best receivers in college football, in my opinion, still. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll bounce back from this. I mean, playing any game, week two on the road in the SEC, I don't care what SEC team it is. They got them bell cows going after every first down and touchdown. I wouldn't want to be hearing that either. So, yeah, I mean, going forward, I think Arizona State, though they might squeeze their way back in there, but yeah, we're gonna talk about another Big 12 team here in a little bit that they'll probably have problems with.
Oh, yeah. And that team is Baylor. Baylor and Sawyer Robertson completed the comeback against SMU in a thriller 48-45 win. You know, Sawyer Robertson has 859 yards passing and seven touchdowns through only two games. Do the math, kids. That's over 400 yards a game. Wild, wild. He might be my Heisman favorite right now. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier's not doing much, so you know.
Yeah, we're just switching our Heisman favorites every week. Last week it was Lenore Sellers, now it's Sawyer Robinson. But yeah, man, this was a fun game. I caught most of it. First play of the game. KJ Jennings connected on a deep ball for like 75 yards where the ball hit off of a Baylor's helmet, Baylor safety's helmet, and landed right into the SMU dude's arms, and he took off for 75. And I mean, you called the over in this game, like it was a no-brainer. I think they
No
had like
brainer.
41 points at halftime, so there was no doubt in that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure SMU missed the field goal in overtime, and then Baylor made their field goal. And yeah, man, no defense. Neither team has a defense, but they do sure got some offenses.
Yeah, give my boy Sawyer, a defense. Come on. It ain't his fault they lost to Auburn, and it ain't his fault they almost lost to SMU. That guy is carrying that team on his back. It's unfair because the voters are going to look at the losses they're going to inevitably have because of their defense and not give my boy the reward he deserves. What are you going to do? And outside of these games and that shootout, it was a pretty sluggish week for a lot of the top teams. Obviously, my Buckeyes took care of business against a way overmatched opponent. But there's other teams that played FCS opponents this week, like Georgia. Georgia only beat Austin Peay by a score of 28-6. Now, college football may be the only sport in the whole world where you can win a game and it's like, oh, that kind of feels like a loss. You know, we have way more talent. We are way overmatched. We just spend way more. We have way better facilities. We are practically an NFL team, and they're practically a high school team. And we only beat them 28-6. We had the ball at Austin Peay's 1 yard line before half, and we couldn't score. 5 plays, and we couldn't score. Georgia better be hitting the weights, and they better get that shit right because they got a tough one next week.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no excuse for not being able to score from the 1 yard line, but I mean, 28-6, you got a big game the next week. I mean, I could see them being really vanilla in this game. I mean, I definitely didn't have Georgia and Austin Peay on my TV on a Saturday, but I mean, I'm sure they didn't do a lot. I mean, I'm sure it was a whole bunch of just run, 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 not show a lot, not get certain guys involved, just to disguise what they have for next week, which I don't know if that's gonna matter in Tennessee, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna overreact to this game too much yet. We'll see how they do this upcoming week, but I mean, still 28-6 against Austin Peay is not the greatest.
Yeah, it's not getting it done. But like you said, it's a sleepwalk week. LSU Tigers had a very similar situation. In-state opponent only won 23-7 against Louisiana Tech. It's just one of those weeks. I think Penn State looked a little sleepy. It just happens. It's week two. You're just kind of working things out. It's more like a practice, a glorified practice. As long as you don't lose, you're fine. Except for people like
Yeah,
us who are going to grill you and get you that bulletin board material.
right. And you're missing one team that didn't play to expectations this week. And that was my Clemson Tigers. But
Mm,
we will bounce back. We will bounce back this week. I promise you that.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No, I think they're in a decent position to bounce back, but we'll cover that game in our next episode. It was a very interesting day for the SEC. I feel like the SEC started the week one of the season off on a bad note. You had Texas losing, you had Alabama losing, but now week two, you have Oklahoma winning, Mississippi State pulling off a miraculous upset. Sure, Florida lost. That's gonna pull you down a little bit, but overall, I feel like it was a good week for the SEC. Vanderbilt, I believe Vanderbilt pulled off a pretty huge win. I think it was 44-20 at Virginia Tech. Impressive. I did not see that one coming. I don't believe you saw that one coming either.
Nah, we were both on Virginia Tech in the bounce
Yeah,
back spot there.
yeah.
But
Conference wise, the Big Ten probably didn't have the best week outside of Oregon's dismantling of Oklahoma State and Illinois taking care of business at Duke. Iowa and Michigan hurt the Big Ten a little bit, but it's early in the season and these things get ironed out. But that's it for today. For hot takes and game breaks, I am your boy Matthew Nepper. He is Taylor Druckenmiller. Go Buckeyes.
still go blue. Go blue.
Peace.